Hello, 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 good people. Hello. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is Dr. Kelly's perspective for Thursday, August 3rd. 2017. Okay, so I want to spend a couple of minutes with you today and back up to a challenge that I issued about a week and a half ago or so, where we were talking about being kind, just being kind to everyone. Hello, Heather. Just being kind. As a matter of fact, Heather's baby girl, Olivia, said, be kind when we were watching. And so the mission, the challenge was to purposely, deliberately, intentionally go and find someone outside of your family, outside of, your close-knit group of friends who you already love and do things for naturally, to find someone to be kind to do something for. So that was the purpose, because there is something not just in the receiving but in the giving that just swells our heart. Hello, Emily. Okay, so just last night I was in the grocery store, and so there was a lady already almost done getting ready to be checked out, and she had her son there, and I could tell she was a hard-working young woman, but hard-working. She still had on her hospital scrubs and everything. Hello, sis. Okay, so Ty, and then there was a lady who had like 1 million items on the belt, and I'm just sitting there waiting. Well, you already know. The woman up front, I think she wanted to make a partial payment. So she had given the lady a whole stack of cash, and then she had to do the remaining balance on her card. And I never figured out if the machine wasn't working or the cashier just didn't know what to do, but it was not happening. And yes, you already know. People, not even in the line, everybody starts looking at her, breathing heavy all of a sudden, and rolling their eyes and just acting like they've never been in that position. And so she was trying to keep it together, and so the line is getting longer. The cashier has to put on the little help flashing signal, and the man comes over, and this is for you. There's a couple of lessons in this, because if you are in the position of authority, and you bring authority just with your title, can you please go outside of yourself and not embarrass people? It was already an embarrassing situation. Like I said, the line's backing up, people breathing extra heavy, looking at you, rolling your eyes. And so he comes over and gets very loud and says, well, you can't do this. On this register, you can't do a split payment, and so this is not going to happen. And so she said, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to put some things back. And ding, 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 ding. Here's the lesson, because I had been on the lookout. I was out prowling for someone to bless and someone to, just help them. I'm doing stuff I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let me leave that alone. Okay, so I was on the lookout. I wanted to find someone to give an opportunity to do something nice for. And so, ding, 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 ding. I walked up to her, and I said, whatever it is, just go on and I got you. And she said, oh, no, I can just put this back. I said, baby, don't put anything back. And you know what? I was sort of mad at everybody else who was back there rolling their eyes and breathing all heavy. I said, don't you put one thing back. I got you. And I told the little cashier, go on and fix your machine so I can swipe the card. And she, oh, no, I can put it back. And here's my whole point with this perspective today. Some of us have got to learn how to receive. We're so used to giving and blessing and helping others that when the tables are turned, you don't receive very well. And I know I can say that. Well, hello there, Lieutenant Colonel Katoya. I know I can say that because she was already in scrubs, so she was in the helping profession of nursing. All of you teachers out there, and advocates, and leaders, and servants, you don't sometimes receive very well. Now here this woman is, almost had her whole, she needed the things or she wouldn't even have picked them up. She didn't need to know me. That wasn't the point. love receive love. So she already knew that I was not coming from a boastful place. And I said, baby, don't put anything back. I got you. Let me just swipe it. And so finally she relented. And it just rung a bell to me that some of us have got to learn how to receive. Some of us have no problem receiving. You always got your hand out and ready to gimme, and that doesn't bother you at all. But a lot of us need to do better on the receiving end. Because let me tell you, it blessed me to be able to help. I didn't even ask how much the groceries were. I was so grateful to God to be in a position to help this young woman out. Didn't know her, didn't need to know her. It didn't matter. So the other thing that I wanted to say, when you are on a mission, when you really want to do something, and this is not just, you know, in the challenge of finding someone to help or bless or to strengthen, but when you really want to do something beyond this, and you set your mind to it, and you go out on a patrol looking to do better, to get better, to start your business, to get back in school, to fill in the blank, the opportunity will present itself. The opportunity will present itself. Okay, so one other part to this lesson. This is always a lesson for Holly that I just so happened to share. So she went on about her business. The woman started, and the line started moving. So the lady who was behind me, she said, that was so sweet of you. And I said, well, you know, there's no reason for her to be embarrassed. And, you know, it was my pleasure. And immediately I said, oh, Holly, you blew it. Because, and this is only for Holly, I had already been telling myself, you know, I want to not just live the love of God, the light of God. I want to be able, when I get the opportunity, to verbalize it. So that no one just thinks, oh, she was such a sweet little old woman. I don't want them to think I was just so sweet. It was solely because God has been so good to me. And I want to share that. That's the sole reason. I didn't want anyone to leave thinking, oh, that was so sweet of that lady, and I blew it. I'm like, oh, I should have said. And all I did was say, okay, well, thank you. So I was sort of beating myself up about that, and then I rung my groceries up. And this is what I'm talking about. Opportunities will present themselves. When I came back to pay, the cashier said, you know, that really was very kind of you. And I was like, oh, thank you. I get another chance. And that's when I said, you know, God has just been so good to me and generous. It was my pleasure to help her out. And then I just went on and went about my business. The whole point in this perspective is twofold. Some of us have got to get better with receiving and just say thank you. Just say thank you. And the second part is, if you are really diligently seeking and desiring to do something, the opportunities will present themselves. We need to be aware and on the lookout for the opportunities so that we don't miss it. And even if we miss it, if you are diligently seeking and desiring beyond this, the opportunity is going to show up. We just have to be ready. Okay, so that was my challenge. We are 3 days into August, into our challenge of becoming the best version of ourselves. No sweets have crossed these lips. I will just say, you know, that's my challenge for the August. Thank you for joining me. And think about that. If you're not a good receiver, please learn to just say thank you and go with it and flow with it, because I was blessed helping that person. Okay, remember that. And until next time, take real good care of yourselves.